All right, all right.
Morning, partner.
Tyson,
How's it going?
good. How are you?
Oh, not bad, not bad.
Right
I
on.
just had to go through all the mumbo jumbo putting in the meeting numbers this morning. For some reason, it wanted that.
Yeah, that update that happened the other day, it looks different yesterday, but then today when I opened it up, it looked back to normal. So I have no idea what Zoom is doing, but I did get an email that they were looking at updates, but their system crashed.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
so that update will probably come in the new year, but I think they tried to push it through yesterday and it did not succeed. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we're here, so that's the
all
main
right.
thing.
Do you want me to call in so we can get that better audio?
Yeah, it sounds good, but you can call in. I got the phone hooked up, so
Yeah,
we're
I think that last episode was much better on the podcast portion. For YouTube, it doesn't matter, but I think
yep.
I will call you, and then I got the mic right here. So give me 1 second, and then we can start that up.
Sounds good, Mahadri.
All right, buddy.
Quite a wild event. Sports is crazy.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Yeah, it sure is. So, all righty, sir. Well, we are live on the breakfast show here. Good morning.
Good
Welcome to the
morning.
Man Perspective.
Oh
We
man.
apologize for yesterday. We had a bunch of updates happening and we could not get the show off the ground.
I
So,
mean, I probably could have opened up the computer on Sunday and done them, but I didn't know they were coming. And welcome to the world of technology. I turned the laptop on to start our show, and it was a no-go.
well, and Sunday's a hockey day. We were both gone for hockey.
We
So,
were. And it was a good football day for you and me too.
it was a great football day. So let's start there. Let's start with football. We'll go through the scores and then we'll talk a little football.
Sure.
Green Bay 29-22 killed our sports select right
We
away.
were
Game one.
we were done in the first hour of the NFL this week. Absolutely gut wrenching.
Dallas 45-10 winners over Washington. San Francisco took care of business 31-13 over Seattle. Miami pounds New York Jets 34-13. Atlanta over New Orleans 24-15. Pittsburgh 16, Cincinnati 10. Jacksonville beats Houston in a nail biter 24-21. Tampa Bay loses to Indianapolis 27-20. Giants over New England 10-7. Tennessee 17, Carolina 10 cost Frank Reich his job yesterday morning.
Yes, sir.
LA Rams 37-14 winners over the Arizona Cardinals. Cleveland losers to Denver get
Woo!
manhandled, but we picked the wrong way.
I
20.
know, but that's like we were already done by then. So anytime an AFC North team loses, I celebrate.
You celebrate. Kansas City 31-17 winners over Vegas. Philadelphia 37-34 overtime winners over Buffalo.
Oh, that was a tight one.
That was a tight one. Baltimore 20, LA Chargers 10, and
Yeah.
last night in a Monday night snoozer, Chicago 12, Minnesota 10.
I'm not even sure you can call that a snoozer. I'm not sure what that was. That was horrible. Oh my, what a terrible, terrible. I mean, I switched to the Flames game. That's how bad it was. I watched the Flames while there was an NFL football game going on. That is how bad last night's game was. Oh my
And
God.
we will talk about the Flames because they were overtime winners over the Golden Knights. So
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah. But man, this weekend in football was just like that Thanksgiving Thursday, Friday was horrible football. It was because even that Lions game actually wasn't good to watch. It was
no.
just a comedy of errors. Every time they got the ball, they gave it back. It was the other games were just absolute blowouts, not even close. There was two really good games in my opinion this weekend. One was Jags and Texans, and
Yeah,
the other
great
one would have
game.
been the Bills and the Eagles.
Yeah,
They went down to the wire. They did what they were supposed to do,
yeah.
and the rest were all like, bleh.
One sided comedy of
Yeah,
errors.
or not one-sided, but just terribly boring. Like defense, like the Ravens game was just the Ravens defense was relentless. Without Mark Andrews, they're gonna have to find out who they're gonna go to.
Yeah,
And luckily Zay Flowers played his best game, got us both of our touchdowns. But you know, we got to find an identity, and the rest of the teams, they just got to find out how to play football again. Because holy hell,
Well, I find this year, not only in the NFL, but just sports in general, there's elite teams, then there's a whole pile of pretenders that just can't put it together
yeah,
at
there's
all.
contenders and a lot of pretenders.
Yeah, and that goes for NFL, NHL. I mean, I looked at the stats yesterday in the NHL, for an example. Edmonton has been horrible, and they're 6 points out of a playoff. Like,
It's crazy.
how can that even be? But we'll get
That's
to
only
hockey
3
after.
games.
Yeah.
That's by the end, by next week they're back in if they go on a roll here.
And not a big roll, just
No,
like
no.
little.
1 week of good hockey can get you right back in it, which is awesome at the end of the day.
It is, and it isn't, because I don't know. Are we getting watered down in sports with the quality, or is the salary cap affecting things? I don't know. Like the NFL, you got Baltimore, Philly, Kansas City. Who else would there be there? Dallas, I guess I'll throw into that mix because they've been pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Other than those 4 teams, really, does
Even
anyone else
Miami
have a
doesn't.
shot?
Even Miami, I think they're good, but I think they're on the cusp. They've played some just horrible football as well. Like,
Yeah, and injuries.
oh man,
It does not matter when you look. Another star has gone down, season off, season-ending surgery.
the Browns got hit hard this weekend. Their quarterback and Myles Garrett.
Second quarterback of the year.
That's right. That's right. That's not the massage boy. That's their new quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Myles Garrett, huge loss.
Yeah. I hope for his sake it's not long term. For my sake, I hope it's career ending, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even like season ending, career ending would be nice.
Well, all I'm saying is, like, start stretching. You might get the call up here.
You know what? I've been eating lighter lately just to make sure I'm ready. You know, I've been doing carbs.
And I mean, you could go to the NFL or the NHL, because goaltending is a huge problem in the NHL as well.
Yeah, there is no goaltending anymore. You look across Canada, who would be, if we went to the Olympics right now, who would be our goalie? Binnington?
I don't know. Carter Hart?
Maybe Bret Hart?
Yeah, well, Bret Hart would be a good choice. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. There has been no standout. Like,
we've always had the best goalies. Canada always has. We've just always come up with phenomenal goalies, and our goalies are now Marc-Andre Fleury. You know, he's in his retirement age.
Actually, I like that Montembeault kid out of Montreal, believe it or not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he was on a better team, we'd probably get a better picture of that. But yeah, I don't think he's a bad tender at all. But that's crazy that a kid that probably not many people know the name would probably, that's wild. Like, normally our goalies are like stealing the show in the NHL, and well, Canada's got the advantage in goaltending. That's always the conversation.
Who would you say is the best goaltender in the NHL right now, in your mind?
Man, oh man. Honestly, this year he's been playing good, but I'm hard to choose him just because I know what he does in the playoffs. But is it Ullmark out of Boston's had a few wildly good games, and Shesterkin?
Oh yeah.
I've seen him have a few awesome games. Now, best statistically is Jonathan Quick this year, which is crazy. But he's only played 7 games, but he's got points in all 7 and 3 shutouts or something like that. I think Jonathan Quick, if they can give him limited time, he's going to be the best goalie in the league at the end of the year as well. He's too old to handle the whole load now. But yeah, best goalie. I mean, Shesterkin's been pretty solid, to be honest with you. And just because I don't trust Ullmark, I think his name is right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him in the regular season. I don't trust him in the playoffs.
So my guy is UC Saros out of Nashville.
He's been solid the whole way through. I just hate him because they beat the Flames twice already. So I hate that guy.
I think he's fantastic. I don't look at the stats. If I'm going to have a goalie,
he's a European, obviously. So
yeah. Hey, this is a family show. Watch what you say, remember?
Oh, I don't mind Europe. I'm just saying, It doesn't help Canada. It doesn't help even the US, but yeah. I like the Europeans, man. Them women wear beautiful bathing suits. I'm a
I
big fan.
know. No,
Big
I haven't
fan.
even noticed the bathing suit.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually.
You got to get to the pool, old boy.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend, Tyson? This weekend was
Oh,
probably one of the biggest in your,
life.
acquaintance span of
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
My weekend was absolutely amazing. I cannot say enough about the quality of high school volleyball that we seen on display in Anaheim, in Lake Lenore this weekend. Um, it was amazing. You work all year for that weekend. The atmosphere was amazing. She was a packed barn for all the playoff games. The boys put on a display at times. Unfortunately, I won't say they played poorly because they did not. They probably didn't have their A game in the final, gold medal final.
Sure.
But man, oh man, they had a great weekend. Come up, silver medalists. My opinion, best team. They were the best team at the tournament. I would
I agree.
say
They were the best team there.
7 out of 10 games they would win that gold medal final. They played tight. They had a few miscues and still at the end of both sets had the lead late.
Yep. And both went to extra points, did they not as well?
26-24, 25-22.
Okay.
So
Okay.
but we were up set one after trailing 9 points. It was 17-9.
Yeah.
Set
That's
one.
crazy.
We were up 23-22.
Yep.
So one play there wins you the game.
And if you win the first set, it changes everything in the second.
Yeah.
We know high school volleyball, it was that close. It sucks because the boys did deserve a better fate, but at the end of the day, what a great season and a great way to finish,
Yeah.
man. Getting a silver medal and being that close is no slouch. That was awesome.
For the fans out there, if you did not see the Anaheim game, go watch that. They put
that game was something.
Show.
That was our A game. That was
our
A
game. Yeah, they got up. Anaheim had knocked us out of playoffs for 3 consecutive years, and it was not happening. They were having none of it, and that is the most crisp I've seen them boys ever.
There is something about Anaheim. When I was in grade 9, so I wasn't quite in senior yet. That was our first year of our run of provincials. Yeah. They beat us out in the bronze, and they were arrogant about it. And we had a better team, but they kind of intimidated us a bit. I wasn't there, but
yeah,
I was watching, just not playing. And I remember, that was a long time ago. I'm old already. That was 1999, I think, or 2000. And I've hated them ever since. So this was glorious for even me, the old guy that wasn't there, that remembered it from eras ago. So I'm glad that they wiped the floor with them. It was not even a good game. It was a dismantling of Anaheim at home. Couldn't have been better.
Yeah, it was. And kudos to all three of the medalists, like Anaheim, Fox Valley, and Rollo. Great programs. What do they have in common? They all got good coaching.
Ours is a little ugly, but he's the decent coach.
Yeah. Our coaches are not real pretty to look at.
Homely is all hell, but
they're good people. No coach comes to mind when I really think of the homeliness of our guys, but I bet we're number one there.
Yeah, I would think so.
No, hats off to Donnie and Dylan. I know the boys, Peyton in particular, and all of them, I know would have went through a wall if they'd have said, "Boys, we're playing naked today, just with socks on." They'd have went out naked for.
They'd have been out there, baby.
Yeah. But I do want to mention this one thing. I want the SHSAA, by the time Parker, in the next 2-3 years, I want them to do a better job promoting this event. They have world-class athletes in high school. I want to see the SHSAA promote volleyball. Do a show for every team. Like we did the preview of our guys last week. I want to see SHSAA do that for every team going to the provincials. I want to see them pumping the tires for this tournament weeks before the tournament actually takes place.
Yeah, they do for football. When it's football provincials, they've got like up shows. They're on random TV stations. There's all of that and whatnot because football is football. But it's like volleyball. It's even like my buddies down south. I tell them, yeah, man, like our town is known for their volleyball. Your girls' volleyball program. Like, no, the boys. They're like, oh, down here, boys play football. I'm like, well, up here, not every town's got football. I said, and we're pretty damn good, and it's pretty amazing. Like,
Yeah.
they just don't have a clue though. They didn't grow up that way. And like it's just like certain sports get completely it's there, but it's like not even known that it's on. Like if you were from the town, you probably didn't know. You could live 10 kilometers out of Anaheim, maybe you didn't even know provincials was there.
Exactly. And hats off to our fans too. Like we were running live streams and there were 200 plus on every playoff game.
And we travel well. That was a far distance and there was a pretty good crowd of people there and family.
Yeah, there was. So it was great. And like I said, I can't say enough about Coach Donnie and Dylan. What a program they've put together. I know we're going to go into a bit of you lose 6th grade 12. So
it's gonna be a tough next few years. But if they stick it out, there's a lot of good young kids coming up.
Oh, there is. And you know what? Good coaching will have them right there again. And
I agree.
I turned the chapter now from a parent to a fan, and you can be certain that you will see me around the volleyball. For years.
Megan just said, you got to take our kids because we're going in too many different directions. We'll just drop them off. And Tyson, you're off to the creek today, and we're going to Etonia.
Sign me up, man. I am there. I will do that. I am royally going to miss all that. But now I just flipped a different hat Sunday morning off to hockey like you. And Peyton goes from one excellent team to another who's still undefeated. So
you got lucky there because I got the exact opposite. Holy shit, is our team poor right now? I don't know. And I know it's little kid hockey, and it's just all these kids they try. Like I was telling you, they try. They got effort. They got heart. So I can't be mad at them. But man, oh man, we do not have one killer on the team. You've always got that one kid that can score a goal.
Yeah.
No, Ike Parker, we counted 16 breakaways, 0 goals. Like my son can get there. Oh boy, can he get there? He can get to the moon, but he can't land. Crash landing every time.
Hey, well, just tell Parker that Todd Marchand played in the NHL too. He had 300 breakaways a game.
1 goal because it went off his skates.
Yeah. He lost it in his skates. He kicked it in. They didn't,
but they counted it. They felt bad for him.
And actually, Todd Marchand scored one of the biggest goals in the Oilers' history in overtime against the Dallas Stars, Game 7.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Bust by the defenseman, and he found the softness in his hands. The only time he ever did. So
he closed his eyes and said a prayer. Yeah.
Parker, you're literally on your way to the NHL.
Here you go. Next step. 4'7", Todd Marchand, the next generation.
And let's talk about the Medicine Hat Tigers. Wow.
Oh, man.
What a squad.
Yeah, what a squad. They are, man. Crazy. Like, what a team. And every time I check, it's different guys scoring, too. This is not just 1 or 2. They've got a couple stars. But every time I look at the names, this guy's at 5 goals. This guy's at 7. This guy's at 14. Like, man, that's impressive.
Yeah, and you know what's scary for other teams is Medicine Hat's very young. Like
they are very young. Next year's supposed to be their killer year.
Yeah, like they are a full year ahead, and they got a lot of 16-year-old studs. Like,
I mean, I knew Willie would turn that around. I've always had faith in him. I remember, I just know him so well through Steph, and not personally, but like on knowing exactly where he's at and what's going on. And he's got a hockey sense. Players like to play for him. He's not a soft coach, but he's not a Mike Babcock either. And it just seems he gets results out of his guys. He really does. And he knows who to get. Yeah. He's got a little bit of size. He likes his speed game a lot, but he plays a great system. He loves that, not run and gun, but that constant passing, cycling, getting a guy open, wearing other teams down. And man, it's showing this year big time.
Big time, and they have found another stud in a 16-year-old goaltender too.
Yes,
a Callum kid, and like when you have 4 or 5 16-year-old studs,
and
Wow.
one's a goalie. Finding
Yeah,
a good goalie is hard these days. We just talked about it.
I know. My rec
Sorry,
goalie
my wife's wrapping gifts
sucks.
in the background. She's losing it already. It's crazy. No, that's
Oh,
okay, babe. You keep wrapping gifts.
yeah, let's I hope she's wrapping mine. Is mine
Yeah, are
finished?
you wrapping Tyson's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Good. Good.
I hope it's like too big to go on the photo there.
Actually, it's half is outside the house, half is inside. It's a new grain auger. You're welcome. She's just starting to
Oh,
wrap
well,
the bottom.
thank you very much. Merry Christmas to me.
She's a generous woman.
Thank you, Santa May. Hey, some exciting news I read this morning. I was just browsing or going through the headlines before we come on the show. Saskatchewan will host the Vanier Cup in 2025 for the first time. So
Yes, they
hats
will.
off to the right.
That's super exciting. We finally got the right stadium for it, and
Yeah.
that's going to be awesome. And Buck Pierce potentially today could be signed. He's in Regina today, so I read
Oh
that
my
this morning.
goodness.
So he had his final meeting last night, so that's why
Yeah.
he's there. So it was known, but it comes down to him or Corey Mace. And I'm telling you, I like Corey Mace. I think he's a good football guy, but I want to go offensive. I do not want a defensive coach right now.
No. Well, hey, we'll take Mace as our defensive coordinator.
Sign them both. Spend
Yeah.
the money, you bunch of bums. Jeez.
Well, we don't have to worry about the coach's cap because we got no one on salary right now. Nobody.
Nope.
We all have
So-
1-year deals.
I hope it comes to fruition because he also said, Buck said, wherever I go, he said, I'll be bringing guys with me.
Yeah, well,
So,
Drew Brown, the quarterback, very highly sought after guy. He's following Buck Pierce, I guarantee you.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
we'd have Harris, we'd have Drew Brown, and how about the prized free agent of all possibly? Could
Rookie.
we get Mr. Everything in Winnipeg running back in Brady Oliveira?
Oliveira would be nice.
I
That
would
would be
be a jersey tomorrow.
That would be a dream. I don't know if it's possible, but with Buck Pierce, it's definitely ups our chances.
Oh, it for surely does. And maybe not just Oliveira. Winnipeg has a lot of, as all CFL teams do, a lot of free agents.
Oh,
a
dude.
lot of good players. They have shown another big name
Yep.
receiver.
No, they've got. I mean, that's why they're so good. They're stacked. Everywhere stacked.
A great O line, a great D line.
Best O line in the CFL in the last 4 years, and it isn't even close.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a Riders show one day. We're gonna go through all the free agents. We're gonna build our own team. We're gonna build our Riders.
Oh God.
Team.
Can I bring back Durant?
No, we're gonna go with Drew Brown as our backup and Andrew Harris, I think. But we'll stick with reality because we did sign Pipkin since our last show as a third. I don't know why. I believe a third stringer should be a young guy learning the play.
And a guy that can throw the ball. He is historically the worst thrower in the history of the CFL, and there's been some pretty shitty quarterbacks come through this league.
Well, especially in Regina.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Good God. Do you remember the Tino Sunseri and all that crap, man? Holy hell.
Dude, I remember so much.
Yeah. Now I got a drink this morning.
Oh, how about, I'm trying to think of it. He won Labor Day one year as a Ricky, oh man. He was number 12, I think.
It wasn't Dinwiddie, was it?
No.
Because he was terrible too. He was one of our worst. Holy mother.
Yeah. No, this guy could run. He basically ran us to a victory in Labor Day a number of years ago.
Okay.
No, I can't think of his name off the top
of my head. We've been through so many shitty
It will come to me tomorrow. I will have it. But
we'll bring it up.
We've got so many terrible quarterbacks, like
the worst. Like we've had some of the worst, and then we get rid of guys. They end up being the best. I mean, that's kind of like our Achilles heel here.
Well, we maybe have had one of the best in all time in Darian Durant, my personal favorite.
I'm a Durant fan. I know there's so many Durant haters, but man, he knew it. Yeah, he would go out there and he might throw 4 picks, right? But he was balling every game. He wasn't afraid to sling it. And when it mattered most, he won.
Yeah, and he won multiple for us.
Yeah.
Like
Big heart, loved the team, played for the guys around him, never threw anybody under the bus. And then the best was when he went to Winnipeg, signed, got paid, and then never played. It was like, thank you. Like, what a great guy. Just stick it to Winnipeg one more time.
and he always beat Winnipeg.
Oh yeah,
you know, yeah, and you could technically say Winnipeg has had a run, but before that, the Rough Riders had that run with Durant, like 10, 11, 12, 13, 9. We could have won many, many Grey Cups.
From 8 to 13, we ended up with one cup in that era because we won in 07 with Kevin Glenn, right? Was it Kevin Glenn? No,
I think it was
doubles. No, it wasn't doubles. He was on the bench. Who is our quarterback before him?
Because we went against Kevin Glenn in 07, and Glenn actually had an injury in the West Final.
Yes. No, it wasn't
East Final.
Darian Durant was our backup in 07. It was our other guy, Kerry Joseph.
Kerry Joseph, yeah. Another great quarterback.
Yeah, I like Kerry. And then 08 Durant started, and that's when we started getting good, was with Durant there. 08, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. At any span there, barring injury in 1 year with Durant, we could have won any of those years. And 9 and 10, we were in the Grey Cup. One time we won it. We won't get into it again. But that's how we had a great run. We just, of course, being typical Riders, never finished it off. We should have finished it off 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Only did once.
You know what I want to see, though? Like, so we're getting some, I mean, the CFL's got free agency coming up, of course, in February and stuff. For the Riders, I want to see a little more stability. Get away from some of these 1 year deals. Like let's give a guy a 2 or 3 year deal for gosh sakes, and let's get some stability here.
We got to build some continuity big time. That's how you build a championship team. That's how offensive lines come together and get better and better, and all of a sudden dominate. When you know the guy 3 inches from you exactly how he plays, what he's going to do in this position, and the same thing on the right. You know the quarterback. And all that stuff, and you know the running back is a blocking guy, and he's your guy all year. Man, those things they add up so fast.
And how about let's bring the Saskatchewan boy home, Patrick Neufeld. I think he'd look great in Rider Green.
Of course he would. That bomber blue is so gross. Hate it.
So I'm excited, actually. I'm super excited for the Riders season. A new coach, a new set of coaches, offense coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams. All I care about is bring Sean Bain back, though. Bring our buddy back.
Yeah, we only need, honestly, out of all the receivers, we signed Lennius, right? Our Canadian boy.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
That's perfect. You got to have a good Canadian core in this league. He's a good nucleus to start with. I really like him.
Yeah.
And
we got our other big
Bain back.
Yeah, our other big Canadian who was hurt most of the year. I mean, he signed what the heck's his 89 receiver, Schaefer Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canadian kid.
Yeah, he's awesome. Just wasn't able to be awesome this year.
Yeah. Stearns, we got.
Stearns, he's awesome. Yeah, like our receiving core is great, but Bain is our over the top guy. That quick, shifty, our Tyreek Hill, really. That's kind of that position. Our Devontae Smith kind of guy,
and a great guy. Guy.
He's a sweet kid, man. I'm telling you, I cheer for him because he's such a good dude. Like,
wow. Yeah. When the Riders sign him, when and if, but let's say when, we will have him back on the show.
Oh, yeah.
We'll celebrate on the podcast of having our buddy Sean Bain back.
Absolutely. So let's go into a little bit of NHL here to kind of round out the stuff. What are the scores last night? I know the Flames won only because that one I actually watched because the football game sucked so bad. But other than that, who played?
Columbus over Boston, 5-2.
Oh, I bet you Gaudreau got no points.
I don't know for sure.
I don't know if they even played him yesterday. Like, I'm telling you, it's that bad.
Well, Columbus has got a tire fire with Laine and Gaudreau. Like, it's not pretty. But Buffalo 5-1 victorious. Buffalo's a good team over the Rangers.
Oh, that's a good win. I know Quick didn't play last night. He had the night off, so that would have been Shesterkin or whoever it is.
Yeah, and Shesterkin's a hell of a Well,
Yeah, obviously not last night, but yeah, I like him. Yeah.
Florida 5-0 winners over Ottawa. Ottawa
Okay,
starting to
did
fall.
you hear about that game last night?
No, I did not.
So it turned into the most penalty minutes in like 50 years. At one point, the ref came over and said, all 10 of them, and gave them all a penalty. All the guys in the ice got a penalty. It was a complete line brawl behind the net. It just got straight Southern, man. Like
Oh,
we
I
went
gotta watch
straight
highlights
Western.
now this morning.
And I watched it this morning. I should have watched it last night when the football game sucked so bad, but the highlights were on, and yeah, they gave every single person a penalty that was on the ice other than the two goalies.
Wow, wow. So and remember I said this a couple weeks ago. Watch for Jay Woodcroft to surface
Pop
in
up.
Ottawa, and it's leaning that direction. It
Yeah, it
is.
would be good for them. It'd be a good
Yeah.
move for them.
Ottawa is struggling, and who gets to be the sacrificial lamb but the head coach?
Yeah, always. And Woodcroft's gonna have a huge chip on his shoulder. He ain't happy. He knew that wasn't his fault, what was going on
No.
there, but he had to be the one to take the fall. He's
Yeah.
gonna pop up and do very well somewhere.
All coaches take the fall, and Dean Evanson in Minnesota took the fall yesterday too.
He
So,
sure did. Yeah.
yeah,
Sure did.
but Colorado 4-1 winners over Tampa Bay. Calgary, of course, 2-1 overtime winners over Vegas. And the other game, San Jose over Washington, 2-1.
Oh, yeah, Washington's kind of a shit show this year. They just can't
They
figure it out.
either
But
can't win or can't lose. One of the
yeah,
two.
it's unbelievable. But I mean, I love this year's totally different. We talked about it at the very start of the show. It's crazy.
Up and down and no
Oh.
consistency. And
Do you know we'll get into this because this is great podcast talk. Do you know much about the Corey Perry situation?
well, I've heard initially they thought it was a trade situation that was coming down, and then now he's on an indefinite leave, and that's really all I know. So fill us in.
So they're pretty sure it was Mom's Week last week, and they're pretty sure old Bedard caught him with his mom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's only rumor, but it was rumor on about 50 different sites I Googled last night. Every
Really?
sports show that does like just an individual show not paid for by TSN, like art stuff. The rumblings were all identical, man. It's like, I hope it ain't true because holy shit if it is.
Wow.
But I'll send you a couple of the links, the videos.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And
could you imagine mom's trip? Your mom's sleeping with your winger. Oh my God, man. I hope for Bedard's case it ain't true because talk about a mental thing he doesn't need to deal with right now. He's got enough pressure going on. And now what's every guy that hits him on the ice going to say? Hey man, how's your mom?
yeah.
Be the worst thing ever. I pray it isn't true. I pray it's one of those stupid rumors, but
they're probably gonna rephrase that and hey man, your mom was great last
night.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like oh, I couldn't imagine. So I pray for his sake it comes out that no, Corey Perry, it was something else stupid, but it wasn't that because that would be the worst thing ever.
You know what I'd do if I was the Chicago in charge of like promotions and everything? I'd get Donald Trump on the show and Corey Perry live on a podcast like we're doing and get Trump to say, Corey Perry, you're fired.
Yeah. but first of all, if we're going to get Trump on there, you got to let Corey Perry tell his side of the story and he'll tell some lie. Then you got to hear Trump look into the camera and go, that's fake news. And then Corey Perry, you're fired. Yeah. That'd be great. If you're listening, Blackhawks, I think we got something here. Now, if he didn't, if this is all just some rumor, I don't know how that kind of a rumor can randomly pop up if there ain't some truth to it, because that's pretty specific. Not like, oh, I heard he slept with a mom on the team or was flirting or got caught, but like specifically to call up Bedard and now his mom's pictures all over the internet.
Oh,
I mean,
hey, how does she look?
She's pretty. Of course, she's pretty. She's a pretty Canadian girl. She's a pretty girl, but I just pray it's not true because I really believe in Bedard, and I don't want this to be that tarnish, something he didn't even do, end up being a blip on his career. It's not fair. These kids have enough pressure on him, especially an elite one.
Wow, and a guy like Corey Perry can have any woman out there.
Any woman.
Hello. But
I hope it's not true, Tyson. It could be rumors, like I said, but that's what podcasts are all about, is discussing the stuff that nobody knows.
We love juicy rumors.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, man, when I read it, I was like, ooh, I have a topic for tomorrow, baby. This is great.
But it does take two, so she's not innocent if that's the case either. Like, not just
Absolutely
Corey
not.
Perry.
She is to blame. I
Yes,
mean, she's
100%.
married. Or I
Yes,
mean,
she could have he could have come in naked to the plane, and she could have just given him a good old
that's
right
right.
one.
Get off my plane. Put that thing
Yeah.
away.
First one in the nose, and then one in the hose.
Is that how we fight now? Is that how we're doing? I got it. I'm in.
Nose, hose, game over.
I'm putting that on a shirt. Fans perspective. And on the back, first one in the nose, bottom one in the hose. All right. You heard it here first, folks. We're trademarking it.
Nose and hose, and there'll be no overtime.
Yeah, there'll be no overtime. Bye-bye, Corey Perry. I mean, but if it comes out at all, like Perry's toast, like the guy already said, he said, they're doing an internal investigation about the scenario. He didn't say what it was, the general manager. But I mean, that causes a huge rift in the dressing room. Holy shit.
He'll never play hockey again, guaranteed.
Remember, we've been talking about it. That might be the problem in the Oilers room. Here it is, just down in Chicago. It's literally what could be happening.
Well, literally, that is probably a major problem in every dressing room. If you really not moms necessarily,
generally wives, girlfriends, and sisters and stuff. Yeah, because I heard back in the day there was I think in Toronto, and one of the guys had a fairly attractive sister, and I guess she made her rounds with some of the boys, and it caused a huge rip with the brother in the dressing room. Like,
well, how about the Moose Jaw Warriors and the Edmonton Police Chief's daughter last year as well?
Yeah.
She was an excellent teammate, although I did hear it.
She was there. She was there to support all of them.
Yeah. She got a lot of assists in one night, is all I can say.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did read about it. I hope for that girl's sake that ain't true either, but I'm pretty sure that one came out factual.
Hey man, she had one goal with plenty of assists.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man. That poor girl. To get with a bunch of hockey players too, they're just like, I mean, I played hockey, just a bunch of greasy guys. It's not the ideal situation.
Yeah. Would you do that like before a game or after a game, hoping they showered? Like,
I mean, they're kind of greasy all the time. I mean, my son doesn't even like to shower. Like,
now that we talked to them about this, there's probably a Hockey Canada rule coming out this afternoon.
Oh God, yeah, another one.
Yeah, no co-ed hockey because there's only one goal in mind there.
That's right. Oh man, ridiculous, dude. So tonight, do the Oilers play tonight?
The Oilers do play tonight. Yes, they play Vegas.
So, awesome. Okay. Well, Vegas on a back-to-back. You guys will probably score another 8 goals tonight, so that should be good.
I would love to see the Oilers keep it rolling. Just kind of crawl a little closer and give them some confidence.
I think they will. And if they can keep their offense going so that they score so many goals, it can alleviate some of that pressure and maybe your goalie can stand up again. Because you don't want to put him in a real tight game again, not yet. But once he gets confidence back, if they can win 3, 4, 5 in a row, and he doesn't have to do a ton, that's confidence, man. With a goalie, winning is the confidence. It's not necessarily your play. Winning is all that matters. So at the end of the day, that can pick up and elevate a goalie's game like that, and you can get him back to where he was last year when he was actually a contributing position, not just there.
And Vegas is actually a little wounded. Shea Theodore is out, and they got some injuries. So and they started so hot, and they have cooled off dramatically.
The injuries have hit him hard. Though every guy that's injured was in a vital position for them. Like last night, of course, just watching it, they were like, "Oh, this guy, he logged this many minutes, and he wasn't there tonight." And one kid was sick last night as well. I don't remember who it was. Someone just a flu virus, not injured.
Oh yeah.
And same thing Markstrom was too. So they called up a random kid in Vegas and signed him last night. The Flames did. They had a backup goalie that they signed an hour before the game.
Did you hear the rumor that why Markstrom was sick?
No, was he hanging out with someone?
No, he got set up with Huberdeau's mom, and he didn't like the scenario.
Hey, that might spark Huberdeau at this point. I'm not really sure what's happening there, so I'm all for it. If it happens in the Flames dressing room, let's go, boys. Let's we gotta create something.
Hey, well, maybe Corey Perry was just looking for a career after hockey, like he could be in charge of the mom's trip,
or maybe he's always wanted to have the best son hockey player, and this is the easiest way to get there. He saw Bedard was the next kid up, so he's like, I could be his dad. Bedard's dad. Let's get in there.
So all you excellent young hockey players out there, keep your dad close, but your mom closer.
Yeah, no shit. Dude, I got to bring this up. One thing, we were at last night. We had our first night of power skating. Can Skate was in town,
Yeah, Gay
and
Dubois.
yeah, and Donnie and Megan helped run it, and so we were there all night. And Brendan Ersman's little guy, he's 3 years old. He
Yeah,
basically started skating the day that the ice was in, and he's been there every single day. But I think Freddie said 2 days he didn't let him. But he's 3 and he can skate. And I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna follow this kid for a long time. I haven't seen anything like this. Like, knows how to get up one leg, everything. The gear, they don't even make equipment to fit him. He's so small. So Freddie bought the small shin pads, cut 3 inches off.
yeah.
Debbie cut open the pants, removed a bunch, re-sewed it back together. Like, they had to jimmy rig all this gear, but he was out with the 7 and unders, and he's 3 years old and better than a couple of them, or at least as good.
Yeah.
And he's with Levi's group, so I watched him. And Gay came off and she said, like, that's like, it's what she does is she looked at me and she said, that's unbelievable. Like,
Well,
unbelievable.
we got some athletes in Fox Valley, and I'm going to give you an example of one more before we close out the show here. Have you seen the little Cook boy, like Ashley's and Jeremy's?
Yes.
9 months old, and he's literally Ben Johnson the second. Like, he's walking and running out there. Unbelievable.
That Parker and Levi started at like 8.
Really?
Lily took to damn near 2 years, like over a year, and the boys, and they just got up and did it, dude. Like, I'm telling you, there are athletes around here. And yeah, Jeremy's little guy, I met him for the first time. I don't know how long ago it was in the office, but he's like 6 months advanced already, like grabbing things and holding on to things, like coordination and strength. And I told Jeremy, I said, that ain't yours. Not allowed. Sorry, Jeremy, not happening.
Well, we will end the show there, as that's how we got the name, The Legends.
The Legends, yeah. All the 2-year-olds that come out of the crazy
past, future, and present, buddy.
Man, I'm excited for the future. It really sucks. We got a lull here with the volleyball, but now we got hockey. We got other things. And we got the Dirty Birds, and we are first respectively on each side of the board.
Well, I can't wait till Super Bowl Sunday. We got to have a show, man. We're going to have a live show on Super Bowl Sunday. We'll work it out. We got to have a cook fest, and the Dirty Birds will play off for the Super Bowl. Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if they played in the Super Bowl? Oh my! I don't think I could watch, Tyson.
We'd have to have a podcast for the whole game, because
we'd have to. Classic. Yeah, but I'd break cameras. I'd smash mouses. It could just be a disaster on my end. I'm a bloody mess. I would puke maybe right on your carpet. We're not sure about what happened.
Whatever. I'm good for it, man. I'm good for it. Right after, like, new carpet.
Surround me with massive garbage bags just everywhere. Josh is coming over. His team's playing an important game. We're just gonna have puke pails and diapers, and it's a whole ordeal.
That's all I'm hoping for is Ravens Eagles Super Bowl, man.
It would be an awesome Super Bowl.
It would be, not only just for the quality of the game, but for me and you. I'm being a little selfish here, man.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's get selfish. We're never selfish. I'd love that to happen. Are you kidding me? That it would be a great game.
You betcha.
And I mean, I love the teams on both sides, so it's one of those things where I don't have a team to hate. Like, I used to hate playing against Brady in the playoffs coming up, and the Broncos and whatnot. The Eagles, I mean, I love Jason Kelce. He's my dude. So, and him and DeAndre Swift are two of my favorite players in the league.
He is awesome. And and don't forget, join us later in the week. We have both spent 2 weeks now of Sports Select money. We are definitely, this is very similar trajectory to my farming career.
Yeah. Like high hopes. Hopes.
Yeah. But the profit is kind of going the other way.
Hey, eventually, it just like nature, it's got to take its course and turn around eventually. So
we're like that guy in the slot machine who's got 500 in. Eventually, that bad boy is going to pay out.
It's got to pay out.
Oh, it does. And
we'll hit it. We'll hit it. We'll do it again this week. We'll hit it eventually.
We're due.
We are due.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, buddy. And join us tomorrow morning for more Fans Perspective.
All right, Tyson. Have a good day, buddy.
You bet. Same to you, Matt.
Cheers.
Cheers.